To make a bow for a Christmas wreath, like the one you see here, is actually a double bow, and it consists of several parts. To make it, you have to have the large section with 3 large bows, 3 smaller bows, the tail, and the middle tie, or the knot part of it. This bow here generally is what we use to do our normal 14-inch wreath, and it's pretty easy to make. The tail part of it is generally cut at an angle at both ends and can be anywhere from 44 inches to 60 inches depending on how long you want to make it. The harder part is the bigger bows, and they're going to take a larger ribbon. The smaller ones use a smaller ribbon, generally 3, and this is generally somewhere around 4 inches. Okay, and it's usually about the same size as the tail. To make the bows, you're going to need ribbon, and you're going to need an industrial size or a large stapler. A small paper stapler is not going to cut it. You need something that would be used to staple, maybe like a binder type of thing in a law office. So as you can see, your large ribbon, okay, is a width of about 4.5 to 5 inches. And the bow segment is generally somewhere between 28 and 32 inches long. For the smaller bows, your width is generally 3 to 3.5 inches, and your length runs somewhere around 16 to 20 inches. To actually make the bow, take your cut length, fold it in half so that you have a slight overlap, such as you see here, a small overlap. Take the ribbon, fold it in half, as you see here, and then take what you folded in half and turn back each side half again. We'll go to the other side, and we'll turn it back again. And as you can see, that creates our bow, and then you staple it right in the middle, as you can see right there, and you can actually kind of see where the staple marks is on this one. And if you take a look here, you can see where the staple is on this one. You follow that 3 times for the smaller and for the larger, and then it's time to put the whole thing together. The whole thing is put together with wire. First you tie the 3 pieces here in the back and the pieces in the front, and for the knot part of it, you run it through the knot. The knot is created by taking a small piece of felt, a small piece of ribbon, excuse me, approximately 2, maybe 2.5 inches, and all you're doing is making a loop like this. Staple it together, putting it on the bow like this, okay, and again you're running, okay, your wire through it, and the wire holds the front piece and the back piece together. Generally, I like to tie each one of these together first. It helps to hold them. A staple will not hold all 3 of the bow segments together, so you have to tie them first, and then tie the whole thing together. You take your tail, and again, generally fold it in, scrunched into segments like this, and allowed to flow down like that from the whole bow. So I know this is sort of a quick put together video, but it's something to help guide me as I try to do this from this time going forward. You can no longer find bows of this size in the store. They're really hard to come by. So what you really need to do is look for material that's on sale. This season I was able to find a sort of a stitched cloth material that we used for the front, and a larger size that we used for the back. This back size ended up being 4 inches, and the front that we found was 2.5. Worked incredibly well. Also, there's what's called wire ribbon, as you can see here. And what these things have is you can see it better on the big ones. Just look at this here. They have a thin wire on the side of it. And what this does is it holds in place. There you can actually see the wire sticking out. And they will hold the ribbon in place. It makes for a much more stiff bow, and it looks pretty good on the front.